Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Insight. Wow, the emphasis of today are retirement traps. And what I talk about on Hidden Wealth Radio is a very uncertain economy and global economy world that we now live in. And boy, is our world changing quickly, especially with the recent announcements that have been made that have fully supported Obamacare and the concern of health care. And just the fact that Greece has shut down banks for like a week at a time, I think it's very clear that we live in a very different economy than our parents and our grandparents. And so I want to teach you on Hidden Wealth Radio, which, by the way, all of our shows are archived at hiddenwealthradio.com, that you can rethink removing the traps that pose the greatest risk to your retirement. And the traps that I teach from my books, T.R.A.P.S is an acronym that stands for taxes are rising, and they will continue to rise. We have far fewer people paying in than the number of people that we need to pay in order to cover what we need to cover based on our liability of this deep, deep deficit we've dug ourselves into, trying to stimulate this economy that has obviously proven itself not to budge. The R in T.R.A.P.S stands for risk of losses. See, the concern is, as a client said to me just this past week, he said, you know, Chuck, bottom line is this: it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. In fact, I've had clients send me and reference books that talk about a bigger bubble busting this coming September than the massive market recession that we went through in 08-09. So the risk of losses poses a huge risk, especially when you look at all the ebbs and flows of the ups and downs of the market. And that will only continue to get worse as obviously Greece drops out of the Eurozone, being rumored, and the economy continues to falter, China's growth is slow drastically, etc. The A in T.R.A.P.S stands for annual inflation impact, the fact that it costs more and more to live, and the fact that we're all living longer and longer, which means we're going to be exposed to a larger rising cost of living, means we've really got to get our incomes insulated from inflation, which we teach how to do that. The P in T.R.A.P.S stands for physical health setbacks. About maybe 1 out of 20 clients that I meet with, and I meet with clients just like those of you watching this on a weekly basis, maybe 1 out of 20 has long-term care protection, not major medical care, but long-term care. And when you look at the combination of the Obamacare initiative, as well as the fact that people, out of couples, 63% of all couples, one spouse will need some form of long-term care during their marriage and lifetime. And so that can become pretty expensive, especially to the tune of 7, 8, 9, 10 grand a month to get through a health setback. And then the S in T.R.A.P.S is serious longevity. Boy, I can't tell you the number of clients I have that have family or friends that are now officially centenarians, 102, 103, 104, playing golf, exercising, riding bikes daily, etc. And folks, this is a blessing and a curse. The blessing is hopefully we have our mental and physical faculties about us, and financially we're supported. The challenge is the longer one or both spouse lives, the more susceptible they are to a higher potential need of a health setback of protection, as well as a rising cost of inflation, as well as being exposed to a time period to see taxes rise, maybe larger than they've seen their entire adult life. The boomer generation is the first generation that many will live more years not working than the number of years they worked. Here's what you can do to learn how to insulate yourself from all of these traps. Simply go to solvemyretirement.com. That's solvemyretirement.com. Or call 855-668-2928. That's 855-668-2928, and register for our no-cost, no-obligation educational wealth protection webinar. But you've got to hurry. We've added certain times to account for 10 to 11,000 people retiring a day. And it's ideally for those of you that have saved 200,000 or more, or maximizing, if you're still working, money towards your retirement plans. Learn to rethink and protect and insulate your retirement and avoid these traps that are coming, and they're coming fast. Here's to your hidden wealth solution.